Bottle Angelo, $250. Bottle EQ, $75. 2 bottles of Trend, $75 each. But just need the juice and you're all right then, right?
I'm just gonna get big and strong.
Yes, you are, my friend.
Later that same evening.
If it hadn't been for Camp St. Joe, I'd been president a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did your votes go? Where did you go from, pedophile Jim?
How terrified is Joe Biden? Well, this could be the end. That's what I think. I think it could be the end for him. We've said this based on conversations that we've had with so many people that know the DNC and know the inner functionaries of the Democrat Party. That we began the week with reporting that they're really looking to swamp out Joe Biden. What they're going to be looking for here is, can Joe Biden survive a debate with Donald Trump, even with Donald Trump's hands tied behind his back? And so Joe Biden is going in. How much value is 1 minute or 15 minutes of the president's time? A lot. So it doesn't really matter who the president is, right? To get like the president's time, focus, and attention when the president has full blown dementia and no frontal lobe left, like Joe Biden, plates in his head. That's real, by the way. Joe Biden had his brain cut open multiple times, all right, to fix aneurysms. Joe Biden's been made fun of for decades. Like we can find a clip. There's a clip of Robin Williams from like 20 years ago making fun of how dumb Joe Biden is, right? Because he's had so many brain issues. Like how valuable is the attention span when you have no functional brainstem, right? So Joe Biden spending an entire week preparing for a debate, like that tells you something. It tells you how scared they are. It tells you how worried they are. It tells you how much prep they're going to have to do, what they're going to have to pump this guy full of. Can we grab that grand old meme of like what the debate prep's going to look like? It's really funny. But yeah, I mean, this tells you that they're scared and they know this is the end. If Joe Biden underperforms or just doesn't like destroy Donald Trump, which won't happen, then he's toast. They're going to swap him out. They're going to swap him for either Kamala. They're going to get the old Kamala, give you the old Kamala, right? And that's what they say down in San Francisco City Hall. They're going to give us Kamala. They're going to force Biden to resign and try and get this historic honeymoon moment with the first black female woman hyena, half hyena president. Because there's no other explanation for that cackle. There just really isn't. And then they could hope, right, that she can get one over on Trump. Or they're gonna do something even more nefarious, which is kick Kamala off and shove Hillary on there, with everyone's knowledge that like then Joe Biden is simply the Manchurian candidate to like get over the line and then drop, right? And then you get your president Hillary. So we'll see. Trump debate prep. What's the book say? 1,001 insults and put downs. And a Diet Coke. Joe Biden debate prep. All of the questions ahead of time. It's a bunch of needles and shots and white powder and pills and an Alzheimer's pin. Ooh, and a shower head in there. We know what that means. It's shower time. Yeah, that's right. So creepy. Ooh, baby. Yikes. Not a good household to grow up in. The Biden household. All right. So here we go with the showdown 1 week away. That's right. Next Thursday. Just make sure that I'm getting that date wrong. Next Thursday, right? Ready to go? Okay. Yep. Next Thursday. It's going to be wild, too. Man, the chat is popping off with Tea Partiers. Tea Party. Everyone remembers the old Tea Party. So awesome. With the showdown 1 week away, Biden, who prefers briefing binders and practice sessions, will be focusing on holding Trump accountable on his record. Who's been president for the last 4 years? Who's been president for the last 4 years? Idiots. Holding Trump accountable. Trump, meanwhile, has been trying out new catchphrase and bits of rhetoric ready to pound his rival with his words. That sounds funny. Trump has been trying out new catchphrases. I look forward to that. Next Thursday's debate in Atlanta is believed to be the first time the two men will be in the same room together in 4 years since their final presidential debate on October 15th, 2020. Biden campaign is already downplaying expectations, noting the president has been busy with his job. Okay. The president will have less time for debate prep than 4 years ago, when he didn't do a good job during the debates, obviously. We could prove that to you. His day job, given his day job, oh, okay, got it. Biden is coming off a hectic 2-week travel schedule, having spent 5 days in France, the 80th anniversary, and we knew that didn't go well. And Joe Biden absolutely had an adult diaper moment on stage and had to be whisked off by Jill. We saw it all on TV. You can't stop it. You can't stop us, okay? Like, we're parents. We're parents. Are you a parent? You're a parent, right? You're a parent. You know what happens when your kid goes into the corner? When your kid goes in the corner and goes like this, and then looks at you like this. What's he doing? What's your kid doing? Like, you know it. And that's exactly what Joe Biden did on stage. We saw it. We all saw it. We have eyes. So this is what they're going to do. This is a little shot down here lower in the article of what it looks like at Camp David. You can see here, like, it's going to be Joe Biden surrounded by like 50 doofuses. And they all, like, every egghead, every Dangerfield egghead in D.C. Sitting there saying, "Oh, I got a new one for you, Joe. Why don't you call Trump a threat to democracy? Call him a threat to democracy. That'll get him. That'll get him." Yeah, okay. Got it. So we are ready to rock here. Donald Trump will most likely bring the jokes. Donald Trump has said he's going to take a drug test. Trump says, "I'm going to take one." Okay? I'm going to challenge Biden to take one. So get ready for that. Expect a joke like this. We've done our research here. The great ALX, our executive producer, has done a considerable amount of research for the show. When we read that Trump is working on quick quips, okay, and new punchlines, and new lines of punching back at Joe Biden, so what could that possibly be? Well, here's a good example. Donald Trump on Joe Biden's cocaine use.
Everybody going to watch the debate? He's going to be so pumped up. He's going to be pumped up. You know all that stuff that was missing about a month ago from the White House? What happened? Who left it? Somebody left it there. I wonder, let's see, somebody left a laptop in an office of a gentleman who was supposed to fix the laptop from hell. He never picked it up, and somebody didn't pick up hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cocaine. I wonder who that could have been. I don't know. Actually, I think it was Joe.
I don't know. Look at this. Look at these. Look at this. You can't help. You can't fix this. Okay? You can't fix it. Can't fix it. You don't. I mean, I guess you do got to hear. Let's turn the audio on for a second.
You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that. You can't be pro-insurrection.
What how quickly I love you, okay? And I know that the feeling is mutual. And you probably care about I care about your health. I want you to live a healthy, happy, long life in this great, beautiful country. And we're going to make it greater than it is today. But if I did the show like that, let's play the clip. If I did a show like it, if we did the show like this, would you be concerned for my health? If I showed up to work to do the stream like this, would somebody call an ambulance and I didn't blink for the next 90 minutes? And my voice was all modulated? Would you be worried? I would be very, very worried. Yeah, put it. Yeah, you put it. I was like, which Joe Biden they got today? Which Joe Biden they going to get out there? Which Joe Biden's going to show up for the debate? It's going to be number 7 or number 4. My favorite's number 7. Which Joe Biden's going to leave the Roomba charger, right? Like go out to the stage. And we know that Joe Biden has been begging. They've been begging to let him, sit on the squatty potty during the debate. They've been begging. They wanted Joe Biden plus a squatty potty at the debate. You know the squatty potty. You remember the squatty potty. That's what they wanted. The Joe Biden campaign's like, we're going to sue you to make sure that Joe Biden can sit, right? Like a dog during the debate. They wanted him to sit. It's too long of a debate. I think it's like 90 minutes. I think there's no commercial breaks. I'm pretty sure about that. ALX, do we have like a nice big fat list of like the debate? Yeah, we do have the debate rules. Okay, right here. So it's going to be 90 minutes, no commercial breaks. And Biden's going to have to stand, I guess, the entire time. And presumably that means Biden will be on camera for 90 minutes. And we haven't seen that in a while. He's going to have to stand the whole time. So what's going to, what are they going to do to the guy? What are they going to pump the guy full of? What is it? What is your guess? Where do all the magical bags of cocaine come from? I mean, all over D.C. Where do they come from? They find them everywhere. Little teeny bags of cocaine just sprinkled throughout D.C. Little snowy Santa Claus just sprinkles them out of the sled. Where do they come from? This is like a trend I'm noticing. Will Joe Biden be able to stand for that long? How long will the pocket catheter be that Joe Biden will be using? Will it stretch backstage? Will you see like a little yellow line, tube all the way backstage? Jill back there furiously pumping? You don't know. No one can know. There's going to be no commercial breaks. So we're not sure. And if they try and switch out Joe Biden from the Roomba charging stations, right? If they're like, number 7, get out. You're done. Quick. Number 2, get out there, right? It's going to be really hard to do that without a commercial break. It's going to be really hard. We'll see. We'll see. Where are they going to go? Okay, all right. Enough having fun. So even the libs are saying, dude, you're finished here. This is the Obama guy. Remember, like Van Jones is the voice of Obama. This is like a personal threat. Go.
This is the entire election, as far as I'm concerned. The entire world will be watching. If you are a carbon-based life form, you're going to be watching. If you've got a functioning brainstem, you're going to be watching. Because if Biden goes out there and messes up, it's game over. If he walks out there and a week later he's lower in the polls, it's panic in the party. But if you
Okay. So if you are a carbon-based life form, you're going to be watching. Carolyn Levitt, one of our friends, is saying that they are trying severely to set the bar as low as humanly possible during the debate and for the debate, and to give Biden as many legs up as possible. Not as many legs up as the squatty potty would, but nonetheless doing their best, right, to literally hoist Joe Biden over the finish line. Let's go, Carolyn.
His team thinks if he doesn't perform, it's over. I mean, it is over early and there's no coming back. Does the former president, Donald Trump, feel that type of pressure?
Well, President Trump is very excited about this debate. However, the mainstream media has also set the bar so low for this debate for Joe Biden, Jesse, that if he gets up there and doesn't soil himself and doesn't fumble and bumble over every word he says, then the media is going to declare this a win for Joe Biden. President Trump knows what he's getting into with CNN. This is going to be a 3-on-1 debate with 3 people who have not treated him fairly, have lied about him, but he's ready, and it shows his commitment to deliver his winning message to the American public that he's willing to go on CNN. And the real question for Joe Biden's victory is going to be whether he can stand up there and defend his abysmal policies. Can he defend his record high inflation crisis? Can he defend his wide open border invasion that is leading to a loss of life across this country? That will define how well Joe Biden does in this debate.
Okay. So here you have both sides saying, yeah, Biden's doomed if he can't get this debate right. So why don't we go ahead and check in on Joe Biden during debates here? Here's an interesting little cut of the 2020 debates. These are debates with other Democrats where Joe Biden was running for president. And, you know, you decide. How did Joe Biden do 4 years ago? And do you think he's improved any? Yeah. Here we go.
Gave it, I think it was 54. Don't hold me to that. 54%. Over 500 miles a day. 250 miles a day. 150 million people have been killed since 2007. More than all the wars, including Vietnam. Now we have over 120 million dead from COVID. It's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk. A $15 million, or $15,000 minimum wage. 500,000, 50,000, 50,000. 330, or 303, 330, or BOO, wait.
It's actually a great insight into the way the Democrats report news. The entire country's dead. The whole country just died of gun crime. There was a shooting, and 150 million people are now dead. And COVID killed another 150 million. The whole country only has 350 million people in it. We're all dead. Everyone died. We're all dead. Okay, you right now, currently watching. We're all dead. We're so sorry. This is, if you tune in to MSNBC or CNN on the wrong day, like this is quite literally like the model of reporting. So it's actually not too far off from where the Democrat psyche is. So yeah, it's going to be a wild time. Somebody who I hear is doing a bit of debate prep with Donald Trump is Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, sort of shooting from the hip, talking about what that debate's going to mean and what the strategy is going to be. Here we go.
When you debated in the primaries, I thought you showed yourself to be very able in terms of being able to debate. You're very sharp, you're very quick, you're very knowledgeable. And Donald Trump is going into what I believe, and you can disagree with me if you want, a 3-on-1 situation. The rules are certainly in Biden's favor. They're going to mute his mic. They'll probably interrupt him every time he speaks. What advice would you give the president? And do you think that out of my mind when I say that we should probably expect the return of Jacked Up Joe, the guy that we saw at the State of the Union?
I don't think that's crazy to think at all. I do think a drug test is fair game. The American people deserve transparency. There was cocaine found in the White House earlier this year, after all. And I'm only saying that half jokingly, Sean. The reality is this going to be a fair fight? Of course it's not. The reality is this going to be 3-on-1? It is. I think the American people can see through that. So up there, is it going to be a little bit uncomfortable when you have the two moderators as though they're just debating with you from CNN, after all, along with Joe Biden on the stage? Yes, it will. But my advice to President Trump, and I'm fully confident that he's prepared to execute on it, is to just be himself. Be honest with the American people who now see through those mainstream media tricks. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Americans understand that, and they're not about to be fooled again.
Okay, great, good. Bring in Vivek for debate prep. Do it. Well, here's what I would do. And I'm certainly not in charge, but if the Trump team were to ask me, put Vivek as one of the moderators, right? Put debate, like make his role in the war game to be a very quippy, a very chirpy Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. Like, how is it that, and this is reported news, okay? So there's sometimes where we use alliteration on this program. There's sometimes where we use very flowery language to describe things. There's sometimes where we just draw conclusions based on all the available evidence. There's none of that going on here. CNN gave Hillary the questions in advance. Full stop, okay? It's not me speculating that. It's not me saying that because I think that or because I just hate Hillary Clinton, which I do. It's because they did. How does CNN get another debate after they did this? Like, can we hunt down this article? CNN gave Just get me an article to like give me a rock, like get me that rock solid black ink on that article. CNN gave Hillary the questions in advance. How can we possibly trust them to not do that with Biden? How? We're not making it up. Donna Brazile literally shoved the questions that CNN was going to ask down her brassiere and brassiered them all over to Hillary. And they sat there sucking down their cheap Chardonnay, oogling the questions ahead of time. CNN fires Donna Brazile for giving debate questions to Hillary Clinton. So, what does that mean? Do we get a takesy-backsies? Like, does Donald Trump get to do another debate? Right? With Hillary Clinton, who had to be blindfolded for 24 hours ahead of time to not get the debate questions? Like, how are we to trust this network? How are we to trust the network when the host of the host of the debate is like the way he behaves on camera is like somebody who's in a straitjacket, right in the corner of a room that has cushions on the wall. He's rocking back and forth, and he keeps mumbling to himself, "Orange man bad, orange man bad, orange man bad." How are we supposed to trust that guy as a debate moderator? Orange man bad, orange man bad. This is Jake Tapper. This is Jake Tapper. Watch.
As we watch Donald Trump attempt to turn his arrest and indictment into some sort of campaign commercial, the folks in the control room, I don't need to see any more of that. He's trying to turn this in. He's trying to turn it into a spectacle, into a campaign ad. That's enough of that. We've seen it already. Here he is right now under my voice. You hear him repeating his anti-immigrant rhetoric. President Trump, now in quarantine, has become a symbol of his own failures. He is running the single most negative, sleazy campaign in American history for a major party candidate. If you were to open up a copy of Hitler's Mein Kampf, you would find the Nazi leader describing the mixing of non-Germans with Germans as poisoning. There's really no other way to say it. Donald Trump's language mirrors this directly. He pushes the government of the United States to use its power and credibility to justify his lies.
Cool. Great. So that's the guy we're going to trust to moderate the debate fairly. You remember who this... I want to like do just a really quick people's history of who Jake Tapper is. Jake Tapper is a Democrat staffer. You know the term staffer. His job was PR for Democrats. You know, Jake Tapper worked for the DNC. Jake Tapper worked on Capitol Hill for Democrats to do their press. That's how the guy got started. This is not some type of deep conspiracy theory. This is not some kind of like thing that I was able to go dig up because of my great sources in DC. It's literally in his Wikipedia. Jake Tapper began by working for Washington, D.C. Democrats PR flack. His job was to push like Democrat information, misinformation. He's a real scumbag too. The guy, in order to get clout, the guy went and dated Monica Lewinsky just to get a story. It's like brought Monica Lewinsky out on a bunch of dates because Monica Lewinsky was bagging Bill Clinton, and Jake Tapper wanted a piece for his piece that he was writing about Monica Lewinsky. It's a family show. Please, mind out of the gutter. But this is what was happening. Like, he's a scum. He's like open about it. He like talks about it. This guy's a complete scumbag. He's a psychopath. Everybody in DC knows. He like jumps up in people's DMs and like screams at them. Anytime you say anything like even remotely mean about him, he's like in your DMs, like yelling at you. It's like a regular practice for Jake Tapper. I got a million DMs from Jake Tapper. Maybe I'll just screenshot him and put him out this week. I got millions of DMs from Jake Tapper. Angry, mewling about this or that he didn't like that that I tweeted. It's so funny. Like how thin-skinned these people are. These people are thin-skinned. These people are like if you took a vampire and you put him in the Mojave Desert wearing a G-string and you watch how quickly they'd fry. Like they're just translucent, these people. So, yeah. This is who Jake Tapper is. When we tell you, it's funny because we can't say this about, most of the people in corporate media. Because most of the people in corporate media haven't actually physically worked at the DNC. Like, as in, like, here's my punch card going into work. Ka-ching! Like, I work for the DNC. Jake Tapper is that guy. He just literally worked for the DNC. So, like, be prepared for that, right? Like this week. Know thy enemy, they say. So be prepared for that this week. Know your enemy. This is Jake Tapper. Now, somebody who's been butt buddies with Joe Biden for such a long time, okay? And I don't know exactly what that term means. I assume that means sharing an adult diaper or something with them, is Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace is that limp-wristed, mewling, whiny, pedantic, privileged Nepo baby who has no actual talent and who has the neck of an orangutan, and he is somehow like given some type of prestigious place in Washington politics because he decides to, spend his nights in hot tubs with politicians, drinking champagne and talking about all their deepest secrets. And that is how DC works, quite literally. And Chris Wallace was also given the opportunity to be Joe Biden's best friend, butt buddy, on stage during the last debates. This should have never happened. This should never be allowed. This kind of stuff, it's so rigged against us. Why do we allow it? Why do we allow it? I don't know. If I were in charge, I wouldn't. I would say you're joking, right? Like the guy who was at Joe Biden's wedding, like these guys who've like been best friends their entire lives. Like these guys, we're not going to allow these guys to like be the debate moderators. I have a fix for all this, but we'll wait a few years. We'll see how big the show can get, and we'll see if we can actually like change things. I have a fix for all this, but I'll show you. Here's exactly what happened the last time that somebody who was like Joe Biden's best friend, big time vicious anti-Trump hater, got a chance to moderate the debate. Expect a lot of this on Thursday. Here's Chris Wallace doing the debate for Joe Biden, right? Joe Biden just gets to sit over there on his Roomba charger with his 7-mile-long pocket catheter. And Chris Wallace just debates. Joe Biden doesn't even have to show up. Chris Wallace can just sit there with his little limp wrists and being like, "No, Mr. President." Here we go.
Mayor of Moscow's wife gave your son $3.5 million. What did he do to deserve it? What did he do with Burisma to deserve $183,000?
None of that is true. Let him answer.
None of that is true.
Oh, really?
Totally, Mr. President,
Mr.
President, please.
Totally discredited. Totally discredited. And by the way,
well, wait, he didn't get $3.5 million, Joe?
Mr. Vice,
he got $3.5 million.
That is not true.
Oh, really?
Mr. President, it's an open discussion, please.
Now, it's a fact.
Well, you have raised an issue. Let the Vice President answer.
Discredited.
Did Burisma pay him $183,000 a month with no experience in energy?
Mr. President,
my son did nothing wrong at Burisma.
I think he did.
Mr. President, let him answer.
He doesn't want to let me answer because he knows I have the truth. His position has been totally, thoroughly discredited.
By who? The media?
By everybody. Well, by the media, by our allies, by the World Bank, by everyone has discredited. Matter of fact, even the people who testified.
Interesting that clip. Considering the news of the last couple weeks, namely the fact that they're talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. And every time that Donald Trump lands a blow about Hunter Biden's laptop, it's Chris Wallace standing there going, no, 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 no. Yet, lo and behold, a week ago, in marches the FBI holding a greasy, stained bag. Inside of it, the physical Hunter Biden laptop, slaps it down on the table in front of the judge and goes, Your Honor, it's real. And we've known it's real since 2019. We have 18,000 pages of hard metadata on this laptop. And yeah, it's all real. So they knew what they were doing at the time, obviously. This is election rigging, okay, at its finest. That's what they were doing. And Joe Biden knew it was real. But Joe Biden never had to answer a question about it. See, isn't that amazing? Isn't it amazing how it all works? What a reporter should do, okay, and not somebody who, has like a dual Snuggie with Joe Biden. You remember the Snuggies? You remember those Snuggies? You can get like the two-person Snuggies. That's Chris Wallace and Joe Biden, okay? And you put on the two-person Snuggies at 6 p.m. and they get warm cups of milk of magnesia, and then they sit there and they watch Gilligan's Island together, and that's what happens. And don't ask. There's a lot of cuddling going on under the Snuggie. I don't know what color it would be. It'd be fuzzy yellow. But anyway, when you have a reporter, back on track, Benny. When you have a reporter, or like an actual reporter, okay, that's playing it straight, given that scenario where nobody's quite sure if the laptop's real or not, no one's sure, okay, but it sure looks real. An actual reporter would say, hey, answer the question, Joe. Is the laptop real? And what's on it seems really detailed. So how do you account for that? They're like very intimate, like can't be faked footage of your son committing a bunch of crimes. Like surely you must comment on this. This is like bombshell stuff, the October surprises they call them. No, nothing? Like you're just going to say nothing? Like a real reporter would have said, okay, answer the question. This is what Donald Trump was trying to do, was trying to simply say, here's the information, answer the question. But instead of finding truth, reporting these days is about protecting power. And that's what's so sick. It is the inversion, actually, of our First Amendment. Reporters today are not about protecting you, which is the point of a free press. The point of a free press, and what we do humbly on this program, is I stand there for you. You and I agree, I would assume, on many things, and I am there to protect your family and my family, and to use the power of this audience to do those things. I will take my shield, and I will take my sword, and I will do my very best with all of my energy, and all the energy that we have here at Team Benny, to fight for you. That is our charge, okay? And it might be very humble, and who knows what we can do, what kind of damage we can do. But we will fight. We have the same motivations you have. We just want to protect this place for our children. That's it. And so with you at our backs, we will do our best to fight the elites that really, really hate you. And they're demonic. And we believe that we're fighting spiritual battles here. And so that's what we'll do. Okay, we consider ourselves journalists. We consider ourselves press. We consider ourselves media. We have a bigger audience than half the other people that have little, punch cards for the White House. So there we go. Ding. What the job is for the corporate media is reversed. It is their job. At their backs is the elites and the powerful and the demons. And the people who have like an enormous amount of power. And they're a very, very small percentage of people in this country. They're like the 1%. We have like 90% of the country at our back. Like 90% of the country agrees with us. So we have like 90% of the country, the workers, the laborers, the Tea Partiers, the legitimate, like, real people, they all support us. The journalists, they have like the 1% or less, 1% of the 1%. And they're the ones fighting them. Just leave the billionaires alone. Leave the people running trillion-dollar hedge funds alone, right? Don't attack them. We will defend them. Leave the Epstein Island politicians alone. Don't ask who was on Epstein Island. I got an interview coming up with Bill Clinton. I won't ask about Epstein Island. That's who they're defending. It's sick. It's sick. And it is the inversion of what press is supposed to be. Press is supposed to be me amplifying your voice to the powerful, speaking truth to power. What the corporate media does is speak power to truth. They will lie and protect Joe Biden in order to confuse you, manipulate you, or to rig an election. And so that is the inversion. And that is now the great, this is now the great awakening. And this is why we're so very excited, ladies and gentlemen, for the growth of this audience, obviously, and for the power that we bring to the table. It's going to be a really fun battle. And as a, as a happy army, happy warriors, we can really do some damage.